We talk a lot in Jiu-Jitsu about how it's important to be humble, and humility is certainly a very important virtue that you guys should have when you train. We don't want to be that person that has the arrogance to think that they're better than everybody else and they don't need to improve anything. That can lead to bad habits when you're training and trying to improve. Humility goes a long way towards correcting that and making sure that you're actually getting the rolls that you need, that you're rolling in the way that you need to roll in order to improve, and that you're not freaking out every time you get submitted by somebody. That being said, there's a difference between being humble and being self-defeating. You don't want to go so extreme to the point where you think you're worse than everybody, you think you're never going to get better, you think you're never going to get promoted, you don't think your jiu-jitsu is your thing. I promise you, when I started wrestling, I was the most unathletic, uninstinctual wrestler of all time. I wrestled in high school. I started at 14. I lost 19 matches in a row before winning my very first match. And that sucked. I had to lose 19 times and think that I was horrible, which I was, in order to finally win my very first match. Most people will not have to go through that degree of failure before they actually achieve success. But if you are a person that you think you are going through that, remember that it gets better. As long as you maintain a good training schedule, you roll the way that you're supposed to roll in order to improve, and you listen to your coach, you're going to improve over time. Sometimes it takes longer for some people than others, especially for people like myself. You know, I was not a naturally athletic person. It took me a very long time to develop my athleticism. If that's not you, then don't worry. Work on developing your athleticism, lift weights, make sure you're rolling as much as possible in the gym, and make sure you're taking advice from your coach in the upper ranks as to how to get better. But you might be that person that for the first 6 months, for the first year, all you're doing is losing, especially if you're a smaller individual and you can't seem to win any of the exchanges. Put yourself in a position when you're training to actually be able to practice some of the stuff that you've been working on in class. Because if you just start neutrally with somebody else that you know is better than you, you're not going to be able to work any offense at all. You'll get a little bit better at defense, but you won't be able to work your pinning skills, your pressure, that kind of thing. Roll with someone that will let you start on top of them. Roll with someone that's going to let you start in dominant position and have you go for the choke or whatever submission that is available at that position. If you don't do that, then again, you're not going to improve and you're just going to get smashed, and it's not going to build any confidence. But even with that, it may take a long time. You have to continue. You have to press forward. If you quit, you'll never get better. You'll never realize how good you could have been had you only stayed. If I had quit after my first year of wrestling, I would have never realized how good I had the potential of becoming. I would have never realized that eventually I could have a winning record in high school and I could become a jiu-jitsu black belt. It's very easy to just picture where you are right now and think that you'll never get better. That's just not true. If you continue to train, you will continue to improve. That's just the way that it works. It may take you longer than other people, but the journey is still worth it. You will eventually attain a high degree of skill if you just have consistency and good training practices. So I urge you guys to continue and to not adopt these self-defeating attitudes of, oh, I'm always going to suck. You need to have some degree of self-confidence to propel you forward. So humility and self-confidence are both things that you need, and one without the other is not good. You're going to develop bad habits if you only have self-confidence and no humility. And if you have humility but no self-confidence, then it's going to become a self-reinforcing spiral where because you think you're not good and you'll never be good, then it'll just become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you have the self-confidence to just trust the process and think that you will eventually be good, then you have the ability to actualize that and bring it out into reality. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Make sure you share it. Make sure you drop a comment below if you agree or disagree or have some thoughts you'd like to share. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you guys next time.